In this series, we're going to learn how to create a website from scratch. To begin, please download the support files and put them into a sensibly named folder. Then rename them raw assets _FIA. Go inside your raw assets folder, and to begin, please open the evidence template. We're using an identical template in the assessment, and at that point, you will need to put in your name, NSN, and sign the declaration. Your next step is to do some planning. So we need to say the purpose of the web page, the languages we're going to use, and who the intended audience is. There's two important documents that we need to look at. The first is the task, and the second is the information that we're going to use to create our website. As this is a practice task, it's not worth any actual credits, but it's useful to see what the task will look like. It begins with some guidance information that you're welcome to read through. In the assessment, you'll be given another of context, and you'll need to choose one project. You'll need to do some planning, create a conceptual design, acknowledge your sources, and only once you've done that will you create your web page, test it, provide evidence that you've used a sensible file structure, and then you'll be able to submit your work. There is a resubmission policy for actual assessments, but seeing as this is a practice, I've grayed that material out. And if you're wondering how you'll be assessed, this is what I need to tick off. So I'm going to be looking at your planning and checking that you've created the website and tested that it works. To successfully do our planning, we need to have a look at the context. And in this case, we're all going to be making a practice website on phobias. So let's look at the README. We want to focus on the first paragraph because it tells us what the page is for and who the audience is. At this point, we know who our audience is, high school students, and the purpose of the website is to explain what a phobia is and provide strategies on how to overcome it. So I can go over into my slideshow. We can fill in those boxes. You might need to do some slight rewording when you talk about the purpose. The languages involved are HTML and CSS, and that's going to be the same in your assessment. Our next step will be to create a wireframe or conceptual design showing what our website is going to look like. Note that you've got a grey box on the right-hand side, which has a list of deal breakers, things that we need to include. There's a lot more information in the README file, which tells us exactly what we need to do and which information we should display as a numbered list, which information should be a bulleted list, and even give suggestions on where we're going to put our horizontal line and what our hyperlink needs to link to. In the next video, we're going to use more of the content in our raw assets folder and draw.io to create our conceptual design.